Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we're looking at a game called My Name is Mayo. So I just covered a game called Reigns, which is a very simplistic game where you swiped left and you swiped right to make your decision, and that was all that you could really do as far as your input. Now, what I didn't like about that game is that it eventually, through your decisions, unlocked a path of a storyline, but the storyline wasn't very well thought out. So I figured I'd play this game and see how the storyline works out on this. This is a game called My Name is Mayo, and it has even less options. All you do is click. That's all you do. It's just a clicker. But unlike, say, time clickers or some similar games where you get some auto clicking, you get some upgrades, you get some of that, none of that really is going to take place here. We clicked it 5 times and we've got an achievement which we can roll up here and do it. In fact, the maximum achievement in total is, you can see the hits. The main amount as far as all the achievements wants you to do is 5,000 clicks, which is a ridiculously low amount of clicks. You can also right click and change what you're clicking with, so we'll do that. And it's kind of like you're tapping this jar to open it, and there we go. We're to the second achievement. So this is more one of those games where you're looking for achievements. Random fact number 25, the Neanderthal's brain was bigger than yours is. Okay. Let's switch to the human hand. So this isn't going to be a very long game, and it's going to be experienced by everybody the same way, and it's about getting the achievements and being entertaining in the process. And we've already gotten 3 of the achievements in 50 clicks, which is a considerably small amount. Random fact number 50, the King of Hearts is the only king without a mustache. I don't know if that is true. And eventually there's a bit of a spin that occurs here. And see, let's stick with this hand, because the other two kind of are gruesome. This is like a cut off finger. This is a skeleton hand. This is a human hand. And we're up to 75. And sometimes I just want to wear my bikini. It makes me feel more confident. Select this achievement to start story. So the first 3 achievements were just for doing things, but now we can start a story, which would occur in Reigns just randomly. Here, everybody's going to have this exact same twist. And here's the twist. The mayonnaise is wearing a bikini. Let's try not to get too inappropriate here. It's just to make sure no different reaction. And I just unlocked a new achievement. When I was young, select this achievement to start a story. So, should we continue with that story, or should we stay with the bikini? Wear the bikini, hit it 50 times. Young soul, hit it 10 times. Something important. So let's hit the bikini until we're done with the next achievement. So instead of moving on. So it's not a real long experience. There we go. And that was... which achievement here? I will tell you something important about life. Select this achievement to start the story. Is there anything else? Well, we want to go in the right order. It would be very silly to go in the wrong order. So I need 4 more bikini clicks. And then... let's see. I don't know if there's anything here that says bikini again. There is kind of a long list of achievements here, but it's not depicted in a nice menu. They could have done double columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that unlocks that achievement. Yeah, you could have gotten double columns at the very least. You could have also probably made the font a little bit bigger. But when I wear my leopard bikini, it feels like going wild. So, do we want to just go down the bikini route? So we click this and it changes it to the leopard bikini. And then they want 100 clicks on the leopard bikini because I saw that as an achievement. So I don't need to come back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just real quick click. The idea of clicking in general is it's not even really a clicker game. Not in the normal sense in which you'd play one. It's not a game you would play forever, which most clicker games are designed to be about the money, not the money, but about the time. This game isn't free like most clicker games too, or free to begin with at least. This is more of a goof of a game. Get around and I'll spin you a yarn you won't believe. Well, I'm not ready to click on that, so keep wearing the leopard for another 75 times. Now, it is entirely possible that you're hearing my noisy mouse click here as I'm clicking things. New achievement. At 200 clicks, we've unlocked quite a few. And there's certainly different ways I could have recorded this game. I mean, I could have certainly made videos that are only about 10 minutes long and then we go through different sections. I feel like going wild. The new one we got, random fact 200 every year, about 98% of the atoms in your body are replaced. So I need 25 more leopard bikini clicks. So I don't know what I unlocked before that. In general, I don't like to cover too many clicker games because there's not a big investment. Usually they're free. This is only like a 99-cent game. And because of that, it's something that you could probably play and then be done with in less than 2 hours, which then approaches the idea of, I believe this game came out before the 2-hour automatic refund thing on let's see, how many should we do here? Topless. Let's see, I'm clicking on this, but I'm not sure there actually is an achievement for this one, so you could, I suppose, play poorly and click on a setting like this and not really be able to move the story forward. Ooh, there was another achievement that unlocked. When I feel wild, I do crazy things. Oh boy, I feel horny. This is mayonnaise is going in a crazy direction. This is certainly designed to push you into this crazy direction. So now it's whipped cream and cherries. So let's go another 100 on this and just make sure nothing else unlocks here. You know what's funny though is it looks like the lid of the mayonnaise might be getting looser or higher. And there was some effort here, and even though this is a pretty low effort game, they bothered to animate these as separate elements that bounce around in different ways. Some people might have been lazy and not kept the jar and the lid separate. They might have put them down as one single animated thing. So we're at 500, and 500 unlocks something probably no matter what. Let's see what's new. Well, the one thing we could do is certainly we could make sure if we're making any progress on any achievements, we know what we're doing to make progress in these achievements. This is a pretty nice achievement system in general. Cool Whip is sexy. I need to do it another 61 times. Okay. And random fact 500. Stressed in deserts spelled backwards. Stressed is desserts, it's spelled backwards. Diet Coke was only invented in 1982. That's another achievement. And everything is getting left as new until you click on it. So we need a few more clicks. I must have gotten out of order somewhere because it doesn't seem correct. Maybe I was right though. 550 now. And in ancient Rome it was considered a sign of leadership to be born with a crooked nose. Nice fun fact. Yeah, so you just make a game with fun facts and a silly premise and have people click on it and you show that you can program a game. You know what's interesting about this is so many bad video games have been made where somebody gets overly ambitious. One more click, it says with the Cool Whip. So that unlocked. I have a secret I hide from everybody. It's like my fantasy. Let's just keep going this direction. And it's a banana suit. And then we'll click on this until something pops up. Hopefully something will pop up. And if nothing does pop up for another 100 and we get up to 700, then we'll know we're done. So what's funny is this is kind of an overlay of an overlay, so while this is supposed to be a cutout in the middle, it doesn't really seem like it is, and you can see just the edge of the jar here. And when you click up here, it doesn't work, so you have to get a little bit more central. And right at 700, we unlock something new. And what is this? New thing. Have we made any progress by clicking on the banana suit? The fact, 10,000 clicks, we're almost to 1,000 right now. So the only thing I could say though is we're going to run into a problem somewhere around 300 clicks if we're not careful, because there's just going to be a little bit of grind. So banana needs another 151. And the new thing we got was the 700 Club was a very random TV show. Okay. So we need to move forward, and we have no new fingers to do that. I suppose you could have diverted off the main story path here, in which the mayonnaise is dressing in odd, sexy clothes, but in general, most people are going to have a very linear path that's going to make a lot of sense, and this is just not what happened in Reigns. Like, to beat that game, they wanted you to do things that simply never even were offered as options. And let's see, new things. Do we have anything else we need to work on with the banana suit, or are we moving from the banana suit to a potato suit? You're not into the banana suits? How about this? So we'll equip that. And we're not making any other progress with the rest of these. So I imagine it's going to be more like one of these is one of the other story runs, and one of these is that same story run. So once we go when I was a kid, it's a little strange to go from a bikini mayonnaise to a kid to a man telling you something important about life. But we'll see how this plays out. And I assume this is supposed to be a potato. Certainly makes the jar look a lot rounder than it felt like it was. Now, interesting, there's a potato on his clock right now with the skeleton hand. Games like this that are clickers can't actually work. I have arthritis a little bit in my fingers, and frankly, anybody that played a clicker and was gonna put millions of clicks into a game, you're gonna hurt your fingers clicking on the mouse just over and over again. Now, it would be incredibly easy to use certain software to program it to click automatically. However, so we unlock something new. And every time we gotta start at the bottom. Oh, that's like sexy. Maybe this will chill you up. Ketchup. Before we go to the ketchup, we need to see if there's any more clicks we need to do at the potato. And we're gonna be 3 clicks off. As far as I can tell, though, there's no more things they want you to do with the potato, which honestly they'd have to do that. This very well may be the longest run of storylines. So now we play as Catsup, the non-copyrighted version of Ketchup. But of course, this is a weird white Catsup, which most people aren't used to seeing. Eventually they're just going to give me outfits, and then clicking on the outfits is not going to accomplish anything. Because eventually you have to wrap down all the achievements. And these are Steam achievements we're getting right now, I'm pretty sure. I know it has Steam trading cards for this game, so it more than likely has Steam achievements. And this is definitely one of those games where it's not a big investment, not very difficult at all to unlock all the achievements, which Steam is the only service that has achievements where it highlights the ones where you get 100% of all the achievements and then completely ignores the ones that don't. And I think we'll go over to 1403 and then we're gonna end it on the Catsup. Oh. So we did unlock something. Ketchup Cheetah. Is that what you want? So she's getting more and more desperate. The mayonnaise is, I assume it's a she. But so now it's going to be Ketchup in a cheetah outfit. And no other achievements are working towards that. And see, we've kind of gone in full circle here. But it certainly does seem like this lid is just getting higher and higher in total. You couldn't really time this to enough to make it make noise or music. That would be an interesting idea, though, if you were going to make it clickers, have like a xylophone, and so you could move around and make different sound, different music as it goes. 1500. That's probably fun fact. 1500. Every human spent about half an hour as a single cell. Interesting. Are we making any progress towards any other achievements? Yeah, feline ketchup needs to be clicked. Wow, a lot more times. So let's speed this up. It wants nearly 500 clicks. So it's getting a little demanding on the number of clicks at this end of this path, which probably is gonna solve getting up to the 10,000 clicks they want you to get to by the time you're done. But then they're also gonna get kind of boring, but hardly, barely boring. I mean, it's happening quick enough here. We've only been going 20 minutes, and I'm up to 1720 as far as clicks. And I can switch it to a different finger, which I just did. On my other hand. Now, some clickers let you right click, or middle click, or use the scroll wheel for something, or do anything at all, but this one unfortunately doesn't have any features around that. Achievement unlocked. So what's the new one? I don't know what you want. Is there anything else we're making progress towards before we click on that one? This is desperate mayonnaise to change its appearance to make me happy. That's a body image issue in the mayonnaise. I suppose I should say I don't like mayonnaise. It's alright. I'll eat it. I've become a lot less picky as I've gotten older. I used to be very picky as a young child, as most people are. But if an elephant and whipped cream. I don't know if clicking on this is really going to do anything. But mayonnaise is just egg whites whipped up with maybe sugar in it, and I don't even know what it is, but I know it's high in fat, high in oil. It's not healthy at all to eat, and frankly it doesn't have a taste that appeals to my palate, so I try to avoid it. When eating a hamburger, I typically like to go traditional. A slice of cheese, a little bit of ketchup, maybe some bacon. That's it. I don't like the extra things. No onions, lettuce, tomatoes. None of that really needs to be added. I'm not trying to eat this bouquet of different flavors when I'm trying to eat a hamburger. I'm trying to taste juiciness of a well-cooked hamburger. With a slight comparison and contrast to the bread, the cheese. The ketchup is often to just add a little bit of more liquid, and even at that, that's still 5 ingredients in a deal. If you, for example, were to take a expensive, fine New York strip steak and then put ketchup on top of it, and then cheap cheese on top of it, like just American processed cheese on top of it, which y'all often put on burgers, and some bacon on top of it, and then you place on top of that just a hamburger bun, you would really be ruining that New York strip steak. So that's more towards my idea of trying to eat things, as I want to enjoy a pure version of the food, not have it flooded with other things. That's in general why I don't like salads too, is because salads often are supposed to be these meal replacements that are passably acceptable in taste. Often you have drenched the salads in salad dressing, and then it stops being healthy for you as a replacement for more potentially. Let's go and check here. I think there's no achievement that we were working towards there. So yeah, clicking on that one actually isn't accomplishing anything. So as we go through here, let's click on the fun facts. And there is an element in this game that it would have been nice if you could turn on different things and overlay them, and maybe figure out what goes higher and lower. Again, clicking on something, if it went to like an equipped side over here and you could drag it up and down, that would be cool. I'm going to click on this and let's see what that looks like. No, it just looks like the regular mayonnaise. So we're going to go ahead and assume that there's no reason to click on the mayonnaise when the random fact is on, at least not yet. So we'll get the random facts off the picture. And let's see. It says you can see the hits. So now let's start the second story. When I was a young kid. So it's got a little propeller hat. Achievement unlocked. So we have immediately, way quicker than what we have been doing, we unlocked the second part of that. The only question though is that every single time we have to come back and see if any of the clicks we were doing were moving towards any other goal. And if we can see it's still at 0 clicks for everything, then at that point we could move forward. So like, just kidding, I would have thought that that specifically was something we were working to, but no. And so I want to be when I was a kid, I wanted to be a rock star. We really should have done this story first. This is the more traditional one. They front loaded it with the silly sexy time mission when that should have probably been somewhere in the middle. Achievement unlocked again, and I think that she's gonna have to grow up and get a job and not be a rock star. Sadly, not enough of an opportunity for rock stars in the world. Although you can, if you just want to get your music out there, you can try to get it on YouTube and maybe SoundCloud. And it seems like there's no other quests around that. So my dad wanted me to be like him. So now you've got some mustache. And see, I still feel like this is a lot looser than it used to be. And by the time we get to 10,000, it is just going to be at the end. Tickle the mustache, I suppose. I kind of wish there was more things you could right click and cycle through. Alright, we'll start right down right here since we've got all the other ones done. An ordinary mayonnaise. And is there any other thing we've made progress for? Nope, no other achievements we've made progress towards. So, ordinary mayonnaise is what it says. So, like, compared to Reigns, which was hours and hours of swiping left and swiping right, and every now and then getting, like, one small bone thrown to me, here we are 30 minutes into this, and we are decently finished with this game. We've made a decent amount of progress. Although at this rate, if it is 10,000 clicks, you very well might not hit the 2-hour mark. It's possible. But it's also possible that we'll get this done a lot faster. There we go. So, again, I need to scroll up and just make sure none of the other achievements have made any progress. I don't think they would. And scroll down. Make sure I'm not making any progress towards any of those achievements, which I don't think they would, because now we've hit a point where we've finished a significant portion of the achievements, so it doesn't feel. So I had some identity issues. And so now he's wearing the mayonnaise is wearing a dark bluish hair wig. I guess that's, maybe she was cross-dressing. I don't want to be a top seller of mayonnaise like him. And see, I don't know if I just went over a number or if I just unlocked something else. So I have to be very careful here. Make sure all of these are at 0. So every click counts. What's interesting here is while it's an extremely low stakes game, there is this opportunity to waste your time just a little bit. Yeah, and as best as I can figure, we just need to move on to the next thing. Because, yeah, there's no progress. I want to be a top seller mayonnaise like him. So back to this. Great deal is top seller. Or great deal of money signs top seller. And I need to do about 150 of this, and if we don't see anything in 150 clicks, I need to come back and see if this might be the end of the line for this story path. But we might unlock something at 3,000 anyways. So, again, at the bottom, looking to see if there's any more clicks working towards a storyline quest. I just wanted to play guitar with my glam style. Mayonnaise is certainly this characterization of like a World War II pinup in the form of mayonnaise. It's kind of silly to go with the mayonnaise here, though. You could make the exact same game and just cut out the mayonnaise element to it and have a World War II pinup lady telling her story. You probably would catch a few more people's eyes, because I bet this game doesn't look that interesting, even though it is weird. So we were over 3,000 there, but that was just a random fact. The elephant is the only animal with 4 knees. Really? So giraffes don't have 4 knees? Horses don't have 4 knees? I have no idea how they're getting that. While my guitar gently weeps needs to be clicked 300 times. So now the clicking is like you're strumming along the guitar. They missed an opportunity to have a different sound effect here. In fact, the game could do with some different sound effects with every kind of click, instead of just the same. The music here is just going through the same music over and over again, and at 30 minutes of hearing it cycle through non-stop, it's slightly annoying. Just ever so slightly, I would say. I suppose I could turn it off in the menu, even though I can't adjust it. I had to adjust it outside in the Windows volume control panel, because it was louder than I would care for it to be, considering it's just this music and clicking. Of course, my actual mouse click is probably blaring into the microphone more than anything else. And there we go, achievement unlocked. In the end, my dad supported me. And I'm gonna equip this one. because we could go back to the other one if necessary, but I don't think that's necessary at all. And I think we're gonna probably end up just doing this for the other 4 stories. Do this one and then that one. So I want to do here just a small number. So I'm gonna do up to 3,350, and then I'm gonna go look and see what happens. Interesting. Before I got to that point, I accomplished something else. What did I else accomplish? In the end, my dad supported me, is what we're doing now. But now I want to be a mime. So, are we making any progress on any other quest? No, I do not believe we are. So, we're learning a lot about mayonnaise here. A fully fleshed out character that has no flesh. That's pretty good. It's pretty good animation. Again, I just want to get up to like 3,400 and then see if we're at the end of this path. So, of those clicks, did that work towards any quest? Specifically a storyline quest? No. So we'll go ahead and click on this. And then we can move on to this story at 36 minutes into the game. Could turn off the audio, sure, if we wanted to, but then it would be rather annoying. One thing to test out here though is it still makes the clicking. It's just the music. It turns off. Achievement unlocked. And so next thing, life is like a box of chocolates. Okay, so we know it's just going to be a bunch of pointless information, things, cliches that we're told. There's no more storyline quests that are making progress, so we should move on to that next one. Way too scrolling up and down. There's a better system that could have been invented here, definitely. Achievement unlocked. Let's see. Just kidding, who compares life with a box of chocolates? I'm gonna go ahead and click on that just to save myself some time, and we can go back if we find out that there was more reason for it. It seems pretty consistent that it ramps up always, so you get like 10 clicks, you unlock something, and that's all you need to worry about. The next one will require 20 clicks, the next one will require like 40, next one will probably require 100, 250. And we're almost done here. Okay, life is something that makes us move. Okay, that's at least the beginnings of some kind of idea. Achievement unlocked. And next one, you know, we have muscle reflexes and all that stuff. That's why we moved. Apparently our fatherly advice that we're getting is from a father who doesn't know anything. Oh, no more story quest progress needed for that one. And then seems like we're not having to click very much to get to this, and nothing is sped up the clicking. So they really are going to make me click 10,000 times without any assistance whatsoever, which I think is a little crazy. Okay, let's get serious. Life is a part of our lives. Okay, whatever you say. Life is a part of your lives, sure. I guess that's as silly as saying death is a part of your lives. No, it actually isn't. It's part of your death. Other than dealing with other people's deaths. Let's keep clicking. And real quickly, we unlock another one. What, you don't like my philosophy about life? Not really. It's not very helpful. But you can see it's just leaving one spot here for the last storyline path. Like, frankly, some of these should collapse and hide away from each other. There's a lot of polish you could have put into a game like this. Maybe you would never see any return from that, but I mean, for what I'm seeing, if Green Lava Studios came out with a new game tomorrow, I wouldn't be immediately like invested in going in and purchasing it. I was not very much invested even in purchasing this. Hey, I'm the one talking about life, not you. And there's probably one more path that we need to deal with. And in the last section, we can just immediately change once we've unlocked something, because almost guaranteed not an issue. It won't be an issue. Oh, so you think you can define life better than me? I am mayonnaise. The final question. Yep. So I'm gonna click this to 3,600 just to make sure nothing unlocks, and then I'm gonna move on to the next storyline at 42 minutes into the game. Yeah, this was really big on YouTubers. Like, I saw several YouTubers think this was a funny kind of thing to cover, and it is comical to play a clicker about clicking on mayonnaise for about an hour, and then it loses its appeal real fast. And so that's why I'm thinking this achievement and this achievement in particular are going to turn out to be really annoying to get. Gather around and I'll spin a yarn you won't believe. Probably. So here's yarn. And see, that lid is so far off the top. So now we have an umbrella achievement, which is, it was a stormy night and it was raining cats and dogs. And see, there's really no reason to even guess, because furry rain and 100 hits is almost certainly what we're gonna do, and then ZZZ is probably the next one, then drop the bombshell is the next one, and then slap the cheese is probably the next one, and then clockwise for 5,000 hits. Drink coffee is probably the next one after slap the cheese. Screw that is probably 300 hits, and then flipped is 500 hits. So here we've got cats and dogs raining. It's a little imaginative, but if you were gonna go with puns, I would have highly recommended watching that old Looney Tunes cartoon where it was nothing but puns. I think there were several of them, and you could have done a lot more than just a raining cats and dogs one. In fact, there's a lot more storyline and gags you could have thought up here. Again, I don't know if you get your money back though. Maybe the creators of this game did the exact correct thing by making it small and making it quick. I like the idea of making it quick, but then I'm kind of confused by the 8,000 and 10,000 clicks. The day was over and I was ready to catch some Z's back home. So you've got a Z-shaped net that you can't even click on. See, I almost feel like the clicks need to double. And you can't even hold down the button, which just for people that have like fine motor control issues. Here you have a game that's simplistic, easy for anybody to figure out, or almost anybody, and somebody that might have some weakness in their hands still probably couldn't play this game. I recently watched a video of somebody making a special controller for their child who had like had a wasting disease and very limited control of their hands, so they couldn't use a mouse and keyboard at all to play even Minecraft, and so they had to build them a special control. But then I met a gorgeous blonde bombshell. And so we don't even really need to check the other storyline achievements. And it is a blonde bombshell. Clearly the idea here was a World War II pinup thing, and you could certainly have done like a World War II pinup style artistic thing and just put up posters of propaganda posters and such, and that in itself might have been more informative and interesting. That might have allowed a game like this to even get in the classroom. We rapped about sauce. I hope I wasn't too cheesy. And so now it's a wrapper and a hat and bling and cheese. And I want to go to 4,100 just to make sure if there's not another quest here. I think there might be, but maybe not. I think there is. It might be actually an incredibly long one. So 4,100. When we scroll here, flipped is 0,500. Screw that is 0,500. Drink coffee is 0,100. But stop the cheese, slap that cheese is, yeah, is something we still need to progress towards. So there's probably 2 more upgrades on top of this one. And ideally I'd like to stop exactly at 1,000 clicks. Of course the problem now is we get up to 5,000. We seem to hit it off, so I invited her for some coffee if you catch my cold. It just, like, I get up to this achievement of clockwise 5,000, sure, that'll happen. But then what am I doing between 5,000 and 8,000? Or 8,000 and 10,000? Unless the game makes it really, like, interesting. That was weird. They hit it off, is I guess the idea. And this guy's sick, catch my cold. Yeah, I'm not, that's just a goofy, bad use of the wrong word. I don't even know if that officially is a pun as much as it is just silliness. Like, and see, we're about 50 minutes into this, and it may just be a long haul for the rest of us. But I forgot my apartment was an armpit, so I was screwed. And let's see, clockwise is the only achievement down this way that we haven't even gotten. So this is interesting. Can we beat this in less than 2 hours? Or is that 10,000 clicks the thing that's going to kill us? As far as I gave idea. And I guess this is supposed to be an armpit. And there's a screw in it. But the weird thing here is this kind of feels like a male voice in this story, where all the other stories have been a female voice, or I was assuming with the father giving his life lessons, that was the father giving life lessons to his daughter, which still doesn't quite work perfectly in the characterization of who Mayonnaise is, which is a very weird sentiment to even have. It's like, what is the characterization? What is the motivation of Mayonnaise, this character, Mayonnaise? But each one of these achievements has shown a guy, where everything else, it's been more female. Which again would work if they just were going to go with a cheesy, like, World War II style thing. I know that game, what was that game called that's still in early access? As soon as we went in, she flipped out and then she totally vanished. So it is from a guy's perspective, this story, definitely. She flips out and totally vanished. And I'll go up to 5,000 here, just to make sure there's an achievement. Yeah, I cannot remember the name of the game that they're working on still, and everybody was very interested in it, and it was set in this British town after World War II bombings, but they were all taking this drug and painting their faces black and white to be ignorant of the fact that their city had been bombed out and that something nefarious was going on. And they called the drug Joy, but I cannot remember the name of the game, and the game did not play the way you would have thought it should have played or do well. And interestingly enough, they've now announced they're going to make a movie after the story, which will probably be a better way to tell that story than the video game in the first place. I keep wanting to call it Torchwood, but Torchwood is a Doctor Who spin-off TV series. So we got to 5,000, but we'll see here. Flipped is still being worked on. So random fact 5,000. Venus is the only planet that rotates clockwise. Okay. And see, if you exit and come back in, the animation at the beginning resets. But thinking of other games that even dare to touch on World War II, it's mostly just first-person shooters. It's mostly just Call of Duty things, and frankly, Call of Duty doesn't even really want to touch the World Wars that much anymore. They want to do Modern Warfare spin-offs and have things set in either the present day or in a time in the future. I felt pooped out the next day, but what do I know about love? I'm just a Mayo. So it's like different stories of different mayonnaise. I guess maybe all the mayonnaise gets mixed together so they all have this hive mind of memories. Well, with poop flying, I'll get this up to, let's say, 5,300, and then we'll check back here. The only thing I can imagine you'd even want to do is if there was some kind of secret achievement in Steam that's not here in the game to the final question, unlock all the achievements. Maybe there would be an idea of clicking on these random facts and then clicking a bunch of these. Let's see, we're trying to get to 8,000 hits, and we are 55 minutes into the gameplay. And there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm gonna just do 500 clicks, 501 clicks on top of this. So at 5,800, I'm gonna switch to the other one, but I'm going to now try my very best to see if I can speed this one up as much as possible. We'll switch to the finger for a while. Every 501 clicks we'll try and switch the fingers too, just so we have some variety, just in case there's something here. But at the 1 hour mark, you're kind of done with the game, and it seems really crazy to have this extra extended ending here, and I don't get it. I really don't get it. And there's only so fast I can hit this thing. I can double tap with my pointer and middle finger, maybe try to go triple taps, but I don't think I can do triple taps. Triple taps with another finger, but that's kind of it. And Reigns had this too. More in Reigns' case, it was a situation where you could just randomly not run into what you needed to actually get the ending that was the good ending. Here, after doing such a good job, and my name is Mayo has dropped the ball completely to give us ridiculous achievements. I could certainly see people saying, alright, I've played an hour of this, I have no desire to ever play it again. I'm not going to make a value judgment one way or another if people would want to refund this for the 99 cents or not. Honestly, if I was just to throw an opinion in there, it's more than likely a better idea to just eat the 99 cents or so, however much this cost. It wasn't $2, and save the refund for the $50–$60 game you might not want to play, instead of getting this one refund, because Steam does have algorithms that say, wait a minute, this person's getting too many automatic refunds, we're gonna investigate him a little bit, that person a little bit closer. So like, I personally, as a video game critic, wouldn't refund it myself, but I could see people playing it for an hour, getting most of what they need done, and being fine with where the game has gone. Let's see. So next thing I'm gonna do is click on this one and back to this, and trying to get 501. So I guess I could talk a little bit here as we're doing this. As far as my progress, I've done spotlights on 4 clicker games before this, none of which are anything like this. This really isn't a clicker game in my head in a realistic way, because it has a very easily attained finite ending. I've probably in the past 2 or 3 years played no less than 5 or 6 clickers. I've been pretty consistently allowing time clickers to run for a ridiculous amount of hours, like tens of thousands of hours it's been running. So if you look on my profile, you can see that that this game has been running, because I just let it run in the background so it can do its thing automatically. It's fully automated. I could sit there and click on the cubes you're trying to destroy in time clickers, but it doesn't really do anything. I am close to the end of that game, where I've gotten every single achievement, unlocked everything, and upgraded everything potentially to about as high as I probably would get in a reasonable amount of time, which I've already let it run for a year and a half, so how reasonable amount of time is that really? But I really don't enjoy playing time clickers. It's just the one that has been running automatically. When I looked at the 3 games, what was the, let's see, Clicker Heroes, Secure Clicker, Time Clickers, and what's the other one called? I think it's Adventure Clickers, Clicker Adventures or something. I can't even remember. When I looked at those games, I said Secure Clicker in my mind would be the one I'd really want to play, but it, in the long run was the one I played probably the least, because its interface isn't great, even though in the meantime, since I spotlighted Secure Clickers and they came out with a whole new engine to release the game to look almost exactly the same, and they did no real improvements there. So visually, still, if I was going to stare at a clicker game, which would be an incredible waste of time for me, I would still pick Sakura clickers. But actually an interface or how much I've actually leveled up on Sakura clickers, it's almost nothing. And the creators of Sakura clickers put Sakura on a bunch of games and put anime girls in skimpy clothing in all their games trying to sell something. I sure as heck hope this doesn't break my mouse. This was poorly planned. I should have pulled out an old mouse and plugged it in instead of using my default mouse. Oh well, I kind of needed to buy a new mouse anyways. I'm trying to find a mouse and keyboard that would be incredibly quiet. I probably should also get a wired mouse and keyboard instead of using wireless, just because even though I haven't had any major issues with the batteries dying, everything should be wired from a professional use standpoint. Clicker Heroes has added a lot of things since I spotlighted it, but none of it really that interesting, and it's still kind of boring. Whatever the other game was called, Adventure Clickers, or no, it's called Tap Tap something. I don't know, it's not Tap Tap Revolution, I don't think, but it might be. That game too hasn't changed that much, but so I haven't played it too much, the tapping one. All of the clicker games inherently are not really worth playing. Doing what I'm doing right now is inherently not worth doing, because this is boring as all get out. That being said, we're at 1 hour and 3 minutes, and if you just put your fingers to the grindstone, kind of literally here, you can get it. Now, what's interesting when you play a clicker like this, there's a world record for how fast you can hit a button in a second. And that world record is 16 times. So if you can work your way to even 4 or 5 clicks on a button in 1 second, you're doing pretty good. There's a certain way you can bend your hands to put them in a very stressful muscle position, which is probably going to cramp your hand if you do it for very long, but you can see there I was using some different fingers and trying to speed it up, but I can only do it for so long, and in the end that burst of speed very possibly is just the is gonna have to be repaid in slower speed later on, particularly if you do cramp up your hand, because then you're gonna have to take a break completely. And I really don't get this. Why make the player go another 2,500 clicks at this point? Like, we've done enough here. Let's move to the next one. And we'll switch back to this. And if you are hearing the clicking like crazy, you're gonna hear that in the real world, but that is in part due to my Blue Yeti microphone that, while set to a directional setting, is not quite that unidirectional or single directional, so it does pick up noise that is below it, which is where I'm holding my mouse pad. Is right under the microphone, so it picks up. I would much prefer to play this as a controller that would allow me to use my thumbs or maybe the right triggers a little bit more, or you know, just not have me do this. This could have been short and sweet, and they're kind of killing my love for this game. I mean, like, this is a good example of, like, some movies probably would do good to be only 45 minutes long. You probably couldn't sell them in theaters if they're 45 minutes long, but not every movie needs to be 2.5 hours long either. So, achievement unlocked. So, we have this fun fact that we've unlocked, which is this. Fun fact, 8,000. A group of crows is called a murder. Thanks for telling me. Where are we on this? Let's work our way down to all of these, and then we'll go back to this and click on this, and then we'll go click on that fun fact. There's only 2,000 more clicks, but that's way too many. And see, I could see maybe if this game had a lot of people working on it, although I have no reason why there would be a lot of people working on it, maybe you'd give out some credits as you're going through this. I could see an end credits where you just tap, and each time you tap it pops up a name of somebody who did it. That would be kind of cool. I could see at this point maybe doing some fanfare and having fireworks every time you tap, or anything really at all. And I don't get why you have to specifically be so close to the middle of this. Like, you can be this far away on this side. You can be this far away on this side. But you have to be almost on top of the label up this way. And almost on top of the label here. So just bad design as far as your hitbox detection on the clicker. And I think this is pretty much a PC game too, so I don't even think this was originally released for a cell phone. It would work on either one, but it seems really crazy that there's nothing on the left or right to really help with this. You could very easily have taken what was the pause screen and put its elements on the main screen. Let's just look at that for a second. There's really no reason why this shouldn't be on the main screen at all times, which is the leaderboards. This shouldn't be on the main screen. And then on the left you could have had all of these unlocked, looking you at the face, and then you looking at the face, and then maybe when you click on them they pop up their own little description. And then on the right side you could be the current storyline. I think this game could do really well with more storylines than just 5. But again, that more investment is very possibly not going to get you your money back. The one thing this game has done for me is, instead of making me want to play more games created by this creator, it's made me want to play a World War II pinup based game. Which, I mean, it could be something like Overwatch set in that time. It could be something like a Telltale game where it's a story-based thing. There was a game called Contrast that was made by that same company that's making the other game I can't remember the name of before. Contrast was sort of short, but pretty good in general. There was this World War II based game that was like Assassin's Creed that came out for consoles, but I don't think you can play it or purchase it anymore, and I've forgotten the name of it. It was pretty cool because you were running around as a saboteur, but I don't know if that was the name of it, the saboteur or something else. There's a couple other games set in this way. Of course, the Doom, not Doom, the Wolfenstein reboot is set in World War II, but that's more the hardcore actually fighting in it, not the pinup propaganda element of it. That's the only part that really interests me, the fictional, non-important part, not the fighting Nazis everywhere. We see tons of fighting Nazis, and almost all of that has now been replaced with fighting zombies, because it's easier to get it approved in Germany if you're fighting zombies instead of Nazis, and other countries too. Well, at an hour and 11 minutes, we only have 800 more clicks to go. And the only issue might occur is we might get to 10,000 clicks, and it might require us to do something else. And if that's the case, that's going to kind of suck. If it wants us to do another 5,000 clicks, another 10,000 clicks, that would be ridiculous. And see, I really feel like this lid is going to pop off at 10,000 clicks too. And we're finally going to get the mayonnaise. And see, I guess you could tell a story like that, where this is actually, I'm playing a character, a person, who is trying to open a jar of mayonnaise, and it's just not opening. And because it's just not opening, he's fantasizing all these backstories and elements on top of it. So the game is effectively the story of somebody creating fantasies while doing an incredibly mundane task, which the clicker element kind of plays into that, but that is probably more thought than the game creators put into it. But it's an interesting idea if they did think that up. It's possible it isn't. Like, video game creators can get artsy fartsy like that, and I wouldn't put it past them for that to be the idea in total. But they really messed up doing the sexy lingerie one first. They should have done the little girl, then the father, then the boy, then the sexy lingerie at the end. Considering it's only going to be less than an hour and a half of gameplay in total to go from 0 to the end of the entire thing. And I gave some consideration to breaking up this recording into 2 episodes, but I didn't know exactly how long it was going to take. And here we are. We didn't quite follow our rule perfectly. We didn't use every single fun fact. We didn't click on every single type of hand equally. Oh man, it disappeared. So let's go ahead and skip to this. Fun fact 10,000. Even if you say you don't like mayonnaise, it's possible that there is that it's in some of your favorite foods. I suppose it is. And what do we do now? The end. Let's do just a few clicks with this. And then a few clicks with this. And then let's run back and do just a few clicks with this. And then you can't unclick things. So the last thing I'll do is click on this. What do we do now? The end. Open yourself to others, just like you open this jar of mayonnaise. See, and now it comes off like it was supposed to be this big storyline teaching the player to open yourself up to others, and that really didn't happen. If you wanted to tell that story, you actually had to tell that story. If this was going to be a long drawn out tale while we were clicking on mayonnaise of someone who ruined their chance at happiness by being closed-minded and rash or brash, that would be cool. But that's not really what happened. Instead, we get left with this. And what do I want to leave us at? Let's go 1034. That's pretty good, I guess, as far as the number. I could go up another 1,000 and try to do the Fibonacci sequence. 1, 1, 2, 3, and then 5 would it be the Fibonacci sequence out of order. And see, now it feels like the mayonnaise is browning and turning brown in the sunlight. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, or maybe it's not. So, that's My Name is Mayo. Worth the 99 cents? I'll let you decide. I think probably. The thing you've just paid for here, more than anything else, is you've gotten 3 badges, 3, what are they called? 3 trading cards, that's what they're called. You've got, by buying this game, you get 3 trading cards, which can help you make a badge if you purchase trading cards on the market to make a full collection. Getting a badge will allow you to level up if you get enough badges, and by leveling up you can have more friends on Steam. This whole system is crazy and bad for Steam. You just can't have an infinite number of friends at the beginning, which kind of sucks, but also isn't really that big of an issue because not that many people have that many friends on Steam anyways, or play that way. On top of that, you've gotten, I'm pretty sure, a full collection of Steam achievements, so if you want to just get some simple 100% Steam achievements, fully complete game, you can do that, and you can do it in less than an hour and 20 minutes, if my time is to be an average, believed. Not gonna have to work that hard for it. All you gotta do is click the Mayo, and you're gonna have a moderately comedic time with it. So, low entry, pretty good payoff for that low entry. It's not gonna blow your mind. It's not gonna make you a believer in indie video games. I'm not really a believer of the creator of this game that much. They did something slightly imaginative and interesting on it. By all odds, they probably are making more money from the sales of trading cards than they are actually the sales of games, and that is certainly something Steam is going to put an end to with their new update called Steam Discovery. No, not the Steam Discovery, but Steam Direct. They're going to look to make it where you have to get a lot more sales or price your game a lot more before you can sell trading cards and make a profit off of that. This isn't a fake game, but it kind of is a simplistic game. Know what you're getting, I suppose. That's it for the spotlight, As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe. Click that bell next to the subscribe button to make sure you get notifications. Comment and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.